The sister was not going to inherit, but her children were going to inherit. Because I don't know, ke Karabo u busy, u biala bana, ka stona ra wa tsama wa biala bana, ne? You are married. When you are married, you exclude your children, the illegitimate children. Bale over tsamaile oba biala bale. When you die, bomme bana ba tlo claim ko estating. It doesn't mean that you can write a will and say that you want your 5 children wa ba name ka mabitso. Then wa tlogela o la the minor child. Remember, the minor child le ho ka mo excluder. They will come and lodge a claim for maintenance in your estate. So even
but wa exclude.
Yes, ukaba exclude. They do that. Hona no guys will, as I'm saying. Onyalane le Wendy, then u mention a Wendy as your beneficiary and le bana ba Wendy. Bale ba mathomo bale akere ukilo anyala before. Wa ba excluder le bale ba itsitseng le mathabo ko thuko kwale. You excluded them. The mere fact that they are minor children, they've got a right towards maintenance. Remember, Bana, they are entitled to maintenance from both their parents. Even when after your death, they are entitled for maintenance from your estate. So don't think urotama obialaban. Upopil. Oblaista masadi all.
All right. Okay. All right. Oh, Buddhisan. I can just show you like a Buddhisan. I can go for the mark. 0800-142-446. Let's take a caller. Simpiwa is back on the line. Simpiwa says he could not hear when I invited him on the air. All right. Can you hear me now, Simpiwa?
Yes, loud and clear, my chief.
All right. Good stuff. Go for it.
My question is simple. Maybe perhaps the previous callers, they've addressed it, but I couldn't listen. But my question is, one parent is deceased, another one is still alive. But then the one that is alive is not playing ball in terms of the will and everything else to the kids. Where should they go? And maybe perhaps if the kids, they want to sell the assets of the deceased one, and then even there, what should they do?
All right, that's the question. All right, did you get it?
Yes, I did.
Okay, go for it.
I'm not going to answer Simpiwe first. We've got Maroon first.
I guess Simpiwe came in before. Otherwise, Pina show ya. We'll go to Maroon.
I'm the advocate, yes, Karabo.
I'm the presenter here, Chief.
Okay, Simpiwe, what will happen is that, remember, that person is the surviving spouse. Ne? When you go and report the estate to the Master of the High Court, batla surviving spouse, I assume there is no will in this estate because hangaba onali willi nkaba ba reported already. So what will happen if I go Master of the High Court? The Master of the High Court utlobatla uzofuna into lena I death certificate afune ne certified copy of the marriage certificate. So the surviving spouse must come to the party on this one. And the children cannot just sell the part of the deceased, because if it's in community, we match that estate, it becomes one.
Okay,
yes.
All right. Okay, 100%. Let's go to the one that you wanted to answer now.
Okay, Maroon, the interesting one. She mentioned something about the consultant signing the will.
Yes. It sounded very, very dodgy for me. Maroon is stating that somebody from that company that said, I don't want to mention names.
Yeah.
Well, she mentioned Old Mutual. She did. So somebody from Old Mutual who they've entrusted them with the whole will thing, right? They've put the will together when the person was still alive.
Yes.
All of a sudden the will changes, but it doesn't get changed. The trust.
The testator or the testatrix.
Let me stick to the testator. It flows nice with my tongue.
It's fine.
So yeah, that person. So it wasn't them this time around who were changing the will, but it was the other person and the person at Old Mutual.
Yes.
How does that work? How can that even happen?
You know, this sounds like a hearsay, ne? No one was there. It's because even herself, she's not sure what really transpired there. She just said a person from that company that we don't want to call by name came and changed the will. So here what happened is that somebody came, changed the will. Can they prove that that person had dementia? They cannot prove it to the master. The only way is to go to court, challenge the validity of the will.
They say in the file, in the medical file of this lady,
yes,
it was reflected there that she had dementia. She even took a photo of it.
But remember what she said. Let's not dwell on it. But what I picked up, she said that the doctor doesn't also want to give them the letter to say that that person had dementia.
Right.
Because remember, if they were to go to court, they will have to prove it that the person had have dementia, and the doctor's report will be needed. Let's say you are not satisfied with the will of the deceased. You come to the master and say, I object against the validity of the will. If the will meets the requirements of the Wills Act, unfortunately, the master, on the face value, master is forced to accept. So we don't have the doctor's certificate, by then we have nothing.
Right.
So we accept. If we have accepted the will, the only way is to challenge the will at the High Court through the notice of the motion, all the papers. And the court can, during having all the evidence, order the master to reject the will.
Okay.
But the master cannot just say, because you are coming to us and say a person had a dementia, then we reject the will.
So what is it that Wendy can, Maroon can do now at the moment? What is it that she can do?
Unfortunately, as she's not the beneficiary, the friend is the beneficiary.
Yeah.
She can advise the friend to challenge the validity of the will.
Okay.
Instructing the attorney to file the High Court papers to challenge the validity of the will.
Right.
Because of because it was one of the most important thing which I wanted to highlight about the requirements of a valid will. If you're nominating a person to be the beneficiary, that person must not sign as a witness, because that person will be disqualified as the beneficiary.
Okay.
The will be valid, but disqualified. Yes.
Okay, makes sense. Make 100% sense. Let's go to Borapi from Rustenburg. Borapi?
Yes.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you so much. Go for it. What is your question or comment?
Yes. I just wanted to ask Advocate. Yes. I want to ask Advocate to what an extent can you write a will? Can you write a will from something that you inherited from your parents? Let me give you a simple scenario of what I'm talking about. You are three brothers, and the will says maybe there's a house, and the house belongs to the family, not you specifically, but you are three brothers. Now the two brothers die, but remember they've got kids somewhere. Now that they've got kids somewhere, you are the one who is staying in the house. And then can you write a will of that house saying the house belongs to your children? And remember, if you die, now those extended families from the other brothers will come and say, because the first will, we are included in that, we are also a part of this. My question is, can you make a will from the inheritance of your parents?
So that inheritance, it's all from where? Does it come from a will, or inheritance if they've passed on and here's a house?
The will was saying the house belongs to the three brothers. Do you get the scenario?
Okay, so basically they've got equal share to the house.
Exactly.
All right.
But now the two brothers died.
Okay.
Yes. But now the two brothers died.
Right.
They are not staying with you. Now because you are staying in the house, you make a will for your children.
Okay. Advocate wants to engage you on this. She's got a question for you on this one. Go for it, Advocate.
Abuti Murapi, when did the brother pass away? Is it before the parent or after?
Chief Kuala Riding. Let me ask you to close your radio before you go ahead.
Okay. All right. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Am I clear enough?
Yeah, you're loud and clear now that you've closed your radio. Thank you so much.
All right.
Yes, when did the brother die? Before or after the parent died?
After the parents died, but before you make a will for your children.
Okay, it sounds like this. Hold the line. We're going to try to solve it very quickly. Hold the line. It sounds like three brothers are here, right? Here's a will from their parents. The parents saying, you guys, the three of you, the house, Kyalo Nadili 3. So basically they've got equal rights.
Yes.
Okay, time moves on. The two brothers pass on. Hosala Omo 1. ona le right ya go ngwala a will now. Is that what you say? Borabi? Boom. But that's what he said.
Okay, I'm going to answer him like this. Ne? The house already, it's supposed to be transferred to the 3 children. Because when you die, let's say you say, I award my house to my 3 kids. Ne? Then the house must be transferred to their 3 names. It means omolomo owner kota or half.
Yeah.
Ne? Then the one brother can write a will because I can share high. Only a share.
Oh, so a will ka portion.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, makes sense. I kind of they've got equal share to the house. So whatever it is your portion, whatever percentage of the house, you write a will of their percentage. You know, yes. But yeah, change. I know. It changes where he says now they've all passed on. What's it like in Nosh?
Remember, it's not his house. That's one other thing that he must get it. It's not his house. It's the house of the 3 children. And you see, unless if in my will I say that I award my property to 3 kids, and that property must not be sold. It will not be sold. It will be kept in a family. But it's not his property. If the child says I want to sell it, then he can just buy out the child because only share I create that high. Yes.
Okay.
I don't know if it makes sense.
It will. Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's go. No, seriously. If let's go to Joanna, listening via Rainbow FM in Josie. Joanna.
Hello guys.
Maureen.
Thank you for vote. I'm not going to have a family of 8.
Okay.
2 passed away.
Okay.
And then my mom is 93, and then she's very ill. So we've got the people who are remaining. We've got our houses, but we are still looking at our mother's house. We are responsible for everything. So we've got a brother, Odula Mon. He's a deaf and dumb.
Okay.
And at the moment, so very abusive. He's abusing the helper Yarona, whereby even yesterday they try to. So he keeps on saying, the house is his. So we want to know because we're not feeling irresponsible. So how can we deal with such a situation? Because really well, we wanted our mother to have a will.
Okay.
But no, he cannot, she cannot.
If you don't mind me asking, why or she cannot?
She's 93 and then she's sick. She's very sick.
What communicate Luna?
Yeah, no communicator. But not.
Okay. All right, go for it.
Mama o na le go latlhella ke tlhaloganyo kapa o tlhaloganya e sa sebetsa gantle o no bana kongwa sa bui.
Ina lo latlhega na kongwe a be right.
Yeah, that's a challenge, eh?
It's one of the things we spoke about.
Yes, because how it's a will mama ne o tlamele e le gore tlhaloganyo ya hao e teng kaofela because e ka ba motho le gore ka o sane ha tlhokofala ke one of the challenges motho I'm objecting against the will ka gore motho ha e kwala o ntse se hantle ka motlhaloganyong.
Okay, but here's the problem then. Okay. God forbid mama wa tsamaya.
Yes.
Here's a brother saying, this is my house. Mama how do I deal with that?
That's one other thing. Ntlokia kuku o ile goreng at the current moment a ke tsebe gore ke motlase gore o sa le right ka ba right na because wa bona ha right so right. She's not in a state ya gore a ka etsa will.
Okay.
So it means a state ya ha shwa it lo ba interstate.
Okay.
Ha ile interstate has no ashwa if kuku ka sebaka sena hana molekane then gora gore hana yena then gora gore di beneficiary kana di beneficiary ke eng ka Setswana
ba le mo permitting khala ke re nona le di permit
hona no ar sa sebetsa ka di permit ne re tlo lebella a ke re wa re le setse le 6 kapa 8
by 6.
le 6 then batho ba tlo kera ntlo eo mama ne ntlo eo he yo registeriwa ka mabitso lena le 6 so has ha mme sna tlhokofala lena le nominate motho re mmitsang executor le tse sure gore lo reporta estate ya mama ko master of the high court master alife letter of executorship then le nominate motho le goreng what minister a estate le etsa sure gore le ntlo ya transfer ko mabitsong a lena gore eske be ya rekisiwa.
Oh, okay, because Rona we were intending for, like, I tried to phone the social workers, but probably Rona we are experiencing a problem because the helper cannot say le Rona are tlhokomelle because abuti Rona le teng ka mo ntlong wa about a hlopa and then ra bo betere ba mo batlele home. That's what we decided on, or ba mo batlele a home, old age home, or I lo hira somewhere.
Mara understand na hore because mama hana will at the moment Lena she's got an equal share
yes.
Am I right?
Yes, we know
Advocate,
that
right?
Mama hone yano ora mang wana abuti hone yano ntlo ke ya mosadi mogolo ha tlhokofala abuti una le equal share. Yes, that's why I'm saying mama etsang sure hore him mama asno a tlhokofala please yang go master of the high court le tshwere death certificate le certified copy ID ya high le nominate executor ke tlo le advisor executor iska ba one ya ngwana wa mama maybe le ka nominate attorney gore attorney o atsa message lo ka pele then ntlo e transferiwe gore iska rekisiwa.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, mama.
Thank you very much, Rainbow.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I think we're taking Mkheng from Mlechi. Mkheng, I'm saying le no se hape Mkheng le no saka wala le bitso le lelana ba no bo Rustenburg. Okay, let's move on to Kensani in Pretoria. Close that channel. Kensani in Pretoria. Okay, close that channel, chief. Kensani in Pretoria. Okay. Arabaraka la batho ba tswa soft. Ra bereka. We bula gape. Kensani in Pretoria. Kensani in Pretoria.
Hello.
Hi, I was Kensani. Thank you so much. What is your question or comment?
Okay, my question is, if you are married in out of commutable property.
Out of commutable property, okay.
ANC with accrual. And then, isn't it, they said, last week I heard, they said with accrual, if the other person has got 50 rand, the other one has got 20 rand, the one who's got more, you have to share the difference. So now, with commutable property, I just heard that it's automatic that the one person will share 50%. So with accrual, what's the position?
Oskansani, you've answered yourself. With accrual, you share the way we will and garden. That's how you share. But remember, it's accrual. Ne? Accrual is not a will. Even if linear out of community of property with accrual system, ne? Then you can still make a will and say you want that husband of yours to inherit everything. So accrual is got nothing to do with the will. So you can still make your will.
Oh yeah, I can still make a will.
Yes.
So now I wanted to find out in terms of GEPF, what is the position of the percentage? Let's say I said on my will 100% of GEPF is supposed to go to my kids. What is the position of my partner, or what is the position of me towards this GEPF fund?
Can I not answer for GPF because GPF is like a pension. Remember, on your pension, you nominate the beneficiaries, and the trustees of the pension fund are the ones who will look into your pension, not the master of the high court. Your pensions do not come to the estate. Even if you can make a will today, if I've got a will, but let's say I didn't include A in my will, but pension fund I did included that person, then pension fund is different. It doesn't come to the estate. It only comes to the estate if you do not have the dependents. If you've got dependents after you died, it's not part of the estate. So I will not be entertaining that because I will be answering something different to what we are discussing today. So remember that person is a surviving spouse, then the GPF, they will deal with them according to all the prescripts.
Okay, so let's just talk about other estates. Other estates apart from the GPF. I say 100% of my estate goes to the kids, or I say 25%. If I say 25% goes to the partner and then 75% goes to the kids, does the equal part still apply? Or no, you were in equal relationship, you must get this and this and this 20%. What?
Accrual is like you are married in community of property. It's types of marriages. Renale customary marriage, it's a civil marriage, then rabale out of community with accrual or without. So before we can distribute the assets in terms of the will, we first, especially if a person is married, first you look into the type of the marriage, because the half, remember half share your spouse is supposed to be dealt with in terms of that marriage, and the other half is dealt in terms of the will. So when you make a will, you actually want to protect other people because you don't want your spouse to take everything. Will doesn't kill the type of the marriage, and whatever that a person is entitled to in terms of that contract or marriage, it doesn't mean that that person will be excluded when you make a will. The person will still be entitled in terms of that contract.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Auskenzi.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm answered. Thank you very much.
All right. 4 minutes after 7 o'clock, and that's where we're going to have to drop it for this evening. It has been a wonderful show, I must say, but there's one more question that I would like to ask, which I believe is very, very important. And it's this one that says, now, should I amend my will after a divorce has taken place?
Wow, that is a very important one. If we didn't discuss that, I'll say to you, Is it?
Yes.
Definitely. Mamela, if Nalwena we are married and we divorce, we must make sure that immediately after divorce we change the will, because let's say we are divorcing, then you die within 3 months. I get what I can push up and not feel hands.
For the whole show to be direct upon that idea.
So Hakarava Ashule Pili within the 3 months. Okay, before within 3 months. Then though we've got a degree of divorce, and there is a will, I said you must inherit everything. I excluded our kids. What will happen is that you will get everything because I didn't amend my will. So immediately after divorce, please change your wills, because if you die within 3 months, that person if you die within 3 months, it will be like our mutu you exclude. But after 3 months, say you die, not you, because you'll be fighting with me.
Of course.
Say I die after a year, we divorced, and I remarried. Remember, when I pass away, they will lodge it with the master of the High Court. Master will accept it. Let me tell you, whoever that I remarried after our divorce will only get that half in terms of marriage in community of property or whatever marriage. But you will inherit, because I had 3 months not changing that will. So they give you the grace of 3 months. After 3 months, if I change a will, it goes as it is.
Makes sense.
Yes.
Right, there we go. And again, that one, you don't want to leave it out. Thank you so much for that. It has been a fruitful engagement this evening. Really appreciate it. And thank you to all the radio stations that have taken part this evening. A big thanks to the technical team that's made sure that this program happens, and it happens very well. And that is Nonhlanhla Dawon on telecommunications, Lennox Class on telecommunications as well as Bra Ace doing the sound engineering for this evening. He's got a black belt of that. And let's say big ups to the video team as well. The guys are making sure that you're going to see this and streaming this live on our Facebook page, which is Government ZA. In the future, you can pop in there and watch some of our broadcasts that we're having. Vic Tapala for organizing all of this. We really appreciate it, Bravik. Much big ups to you as well. And of course, the lady that's put it all together and made all of this make sense. This is the Deputy Advocate Wendy Sitole coming from the Master of the High Court. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Before I go, next week, National Wills Week will be having help desk in all the 15 Masters offices. So people do go to the Masters offices. The legal aid team, law society will be there by Zadi Willy to all the Masters offices. Also Pretoria, Polokwane, Toyando, Eastern Cape, Western Cape, KZN, and Kimberley and Bloemfontein.
Thank you so much for that. 7 after 7, we drop it here. Let's meet again Same place, same time, another time. Ciao for now.